Hey, Coach. Baker said yesterday we're a completely different team than we were early on, talking about week one against the Ravens. What do you think of that? And what do you think about just the idea that Baker is playing a lot different lately? And what growth have you seen him from now to then under, this staff and your system?
Yeah, no, I think we're definitely a different team. Early on, all we talked about was, hey, we're still trying to figure out who we are, trying to figure out how people fit within the system. I think we've done a good job of that, and we've improved, pretty much each game throughout the season. So, his play, I think he's done a really good job as of late of protecting the football. So he's gotten better. I think last week was his best performance since the Cincinnati game down in Cincinnati, where he went on that streak there in the second half. But he's continuing to improve. I think we're all starting to understand who we are as an offense and what we need to get done to have success on Sundays.
Hey, so after the Steelers game, this is a couple months ago now, but a quote sticks out in my mind that you gave us about Baker. That was a rough game, but you said the arrow is up for sure. So he's been playing well lately. Did you really see that coming back then? What was there something that made you say that, or was it partly, you felt like he needed a vote of confidence?
No, I don't think he needs a vote of confidence. I think he's a tremendous player, tremendous competitor, loves the game, he's very smart, does a great job, off the field, studying each week. And, we played a good defense that day. We didn't play our best, but I had a feeling inside, and I think we all do within the organization that Baker's a really good quarterback, and as we grow and he continues to grow, I think we're starting to see some of that now.
Thank you, Nate. Anthony Polisal has our next question.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to go back to the Kendall Lamm touchdown from Sunday as well, and first just ask about the play call. Do you feel more nervous or more excitement or maybe even a little bit of both when a special play like that is called?
You're always excited. I think it was a great call by Kevin. I thought that was the right time, and obviously it worked exactly how we had planned it. And, you get confidence as you watch those plays in practice in the prior weeks. Generally, it's something you have on the back burner. You cook it up for a few weeks back there before it's game ready. But every time we threw Kendall the ball, he caught it with clean hands. He's an athlete out there in space. So had a lot of confidence the play was going to work. I thought it was a great time to call it.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wondering too, like why he was the designated lineman to catch the ball. I mean, I don't know if you guys had like a contest among any of the offensive linemen or anything to see who had the best hands, but how did you go about just kind of like selecting him to be the guy to catch the ball in that play?
He's a guy that we've used a lot in we call our muscle package when we use him as an extra tight end on the field. So he fit right into that scheme, and he's the one that goes out there first.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Tom Withers is next.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Coach, Kareem was saying the other day that he can occasionally get Nick Chubb to kind of come out of his shell a little bit. Have you ever had that success?
I think I had him smile the other day. He had his mask on. I wasn't sure. I think Baker said he did smile. I did see his eyes wrinkle up a little bit like a smile. No, but Kareem, if anybody can, get somebody out of their shell, it's definitely Kareem. He's got a great sense of humor and a great way about him.
Hey, and the chemistry that those two guys have, both on and off the field, what does that mean to the overall success?
That's a great room. Stump does a great job in there with those guys. I mean, it's two different personalities. One's really outgoing, one's really businesslike. It's kind of the odd couple. And then you got Jano, the meathead in there that just likes to run into people. So it's a really great room, and I'm really proud of Stump and the way he's got those guys to work for.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tom. Marla, right now your line's open.
Yeah, Coach, when you heard that Baker's first half hadn't been done since Otto Graham, do you almost like pause a second or I assume you're aware of it by now?
Yeah, after the game, you kind of hear those things and you read the clippings. And, during the game, it's just, hey, next drive, what do we have on the next drive? You kind of stay focused and narrowed in on what's coming. But to look back and reflect on what we did in that first half, I haven't been around many offensive performances. I can only think of one other time where you put that kind of points up on the board. You had that kind of success offensively. But, I thought he played his best game again. He was lights out. But the accuracy was exceptional.
You mentioned, the best game since Cincy, but in a way, wasn't this almost more impressive? Just maybe, I don't know. I mean, how do you look at those two games and why is this one different?
I think obviously going down there, the magnitude of the game, the records of the two teams, the talk during the week of how this was a playoff type of game, and just his ability to raise his level of play, I think it makes it a little bit better.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marla. Our next question goes to Aditi Kinkawala.
Hi, Kevin Stefanski was just talking about guys thinking faster now. Can you give me an example of how you know your offense is thinking faster?
You just see it. You get the reps over and over again. I think that there is early on in a system like this, anytime you're putting a new system in, there's some thinking involved. What we're looking for is total understanding of the system and then just reaction. I think we're seeing that now. It's hard to pinpoint one example, but guys now, I think they understand exactly what we're trying to get done there, and it's just a matter of the repetitions in practice over and over again. And then when it comes to game time, it's just that quick recognition, and then just reacting from muscle memory of what we practice. So, I think definitely guys are reacting quicker now.
Okay, and then on Baker, there are some guys that you say they need to have a short-term memory, like a cornerback. There are other guys that clearly confidence begets confidence. A performance like last week could lead to something else. Who is Baker, and how can last week make a difference, if at all?
Yeah, I think quarterbacks are different. You do definitely have to have the short memory. At the same time, when you start to roll and you have success, you have to understand why you're having that success and what am I doing and what can I do to continue that success. And I think that's where we are now with Baker. Really a great feel for what we're looking for from him and his style of play. And, like I said, it's been impressive to watch him grow through the season.
Thank you, Aditi. Scott Petrick, you're up.
Hey, Alex. Why is Baltimore able to be as effective as it is with their pressures, and why are they difficult to kind of stop that way?
They have a unique skill set of guys that can play down lineman, linebacker in their base package, rush the passer. They've been together for a long time too, so there's a lot of defense there. They have a good understanding of their scheme, and they're very multiple. One, they also pressure a ton, probably more than anybody else in the league. Across the course of a game, you're going to get 60-70% pressure, which is a high number. So the success rate there is going to be high for them. And they have multiple schemes. There's multiple looks, multiple schemes, multiple personnel groupings, and they really challenge you as an offense. And plus, they're a talented group of guys.
And when we talk about the progression Baker's made, is the next step beating and having a real good game against a top 5 defense like the Ravens?
Absolutely. We thrive for that and strive for that every week. And I think it's going to be a heck of a challenge, one of our biggest ones of the year to date. And it would be great, obviously to see him go out and have a great performance versus a top defense, all of us offensively, to go out and play well. We need to play our best game. This is a really good defense. We have to come out and play really well to have success against this defense. And that's what we're planning on doing.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Nate Ulrich is next.
Coach, Jarvis Landry, we've seen a few of these milestones this season. He's approaching another one. He's one of a few guys who has, in his first 7 seasons, like 71 games with at least 5 catches. And I was just wondering what you see from his preparation behind the scenes that kind of explains, his ability to have that consistency throughout his career.
He's a great communicator on the practice field, even helping other guys with routes. I mean, his knowledge of the game, his unique ability to get himself open, make contested catches, and then what he can do after the ball, after the catch with the ball in his hand is unique. Just a true pro. Comes out, he works hard, and he helps everybody else around him. You go back to the touchdown he had in the game. What a great route he ran. He had the corner and trail. He kind of used his eyes to kind of fool the guy to which way he was going. And when he gets hot, really, I feel like he can beat anybody in coverage. He's really, really good. And he's an exceptional wide receiver. We're glad to have him. He works his butt off to do it.
Thank you, Nate. To Mary Kay Cabot next.
I'm just going to follow up on the pressure question a little bit. The 2 games that you're citing, Baker versus Cincinnati and then Baker versus the Titans, sort of the common denominator was he was pretty much kept clean in those games. So what does make you feel confident that not only can he handle the pressure better than he did last time he played Pittsburgh or the Ravens, but how do you guys as an offense feel more confident about doing that?
I think we do a great job, and Coach Callahan and Stump do a great job. We have multiple multiple walkthroughs on their pressure packages. We spent extra time on it this week, obviously, because it's a big part of who they are. Really, it's not Baker handling the pressure. It's everybody involved handling the pressure. And that really goes across the board from the line to the blocking unit to the backs, understanding where we're going, the communication that comes. And then it's the outside receivers winning on time, being available so we can get the ball out and play on time. So it doesn't just fall on Baker, it falls on the offense and the coaching staff to put these guys in situations to be successful. And then everybody has to win across the board when it comes to pressure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. We'll go to Scott Petrick. This will be our last question for Coach.
Hey, Coach, how important has Richard been for you guys, especially since Odell went down?
Big time. There's a guy that just comes out and works every day. When his number was called, I remember in the Cincinnati game just telling him on the sideline, hey, you got this. You've been there, done that. Let's just go out and play with a lot of confidence. And he does. He's another guy that works extremely hard. Chad O'Shea does a great job in that room. Those guys are always prepared. And he's a guy that just comes to work every day and puts the work in. And I'm glad to see him have success because he deserves it.
And when you talk about winning, the receivers winning to help beat the pressure, how difficult do the Ravens do it? I mean, they got a couple of big name corners over there.
They really do. I mean, they're a talented group across the board. They cover well outside. There's some big physical guys on the outside, some Pro Bowlers there. So it's going to be critical. We're going to have to run great routes, be very disciplined, at our break points, and very physical at the same time. Because these guys are big, strong guys that will grab you early and into the route. So it's stuff that we're aware of, and we expect those guys to win.